In the heart of the small, sunlit park nestled among the bustling city streets, the air was alive with the raucous laughter and cheerful shouts of children dancing around a clown juggling brightly colored balloons. It was Saturday, and every child in the neighborhood, clad in their weekend best, had gathered for Mia's 7th birthday celebration. The sky was a brilliant azure. Barely a cloud in sight, providing a perfect backdrop for the vibrant balloons, reds, blues, greens, and yellows, that seemed to capture bits of the sunshine in their smooth, rubbery surface. The clown, with a knack for twisting and turning those balloons into shapes that defied imagination, had all the children spellbound. He crafted swords for the boys, crowns for the girls, and for Mia, a special unicorn, complete with a spiraled horn. Once each child had their balloon creation, the real fun began. Mia, holding tightly to her unicorn, let the soft grass, her friends in tow. The air was constantly pierced by the squeals of delighted laughter and the occasional pop of a balloon meeting its untimely end, only to be replaced by a new creation, twisted into existence by the smiling clown. Among the frolicking kids, little Tommy and Sarah found themselves in a playful duel, their balloon swords clashing with each burst of laughter. Every parry and thrust brought them closer not just to giggling victory but to a friendship that was being woven tighter with each shared joke and smile. As the sun began to dip, casting long shadows over the park, parents gathered their joyful, slightly tired children. Hugs were exchanged, and balloons were carefully carried home. With simple joys and magical moments. In the days that followed, those balloons might deflate, but the memories, like the vivid colors of their play, would remain bright and cherished. Title: The Magic of Mistakes *. Once upon a time in a small, bustling town named Willowbrook, there was a special school known simply as Kids Love. It wasn't famous for its tall buildings or fancy playgrounds, but it was unique for its belief in the magic of mistakes. Jamie, a bright-eyed 7-year-old, stepped into Kids Learn on an autumn morning. He carried a backpack full of crisp notebooks and a heart full of eagerness. However, little secret, he was terrified of making mistakes. He worried that his mistakes would make him appear less clever in front of his friends and teachers. The first challenge came in Mrs. Lee's art class. The task was to paint a tree, but Jamie accidentally knocked over a container of blue paint, splattered his almost perfect tree with unexpected blue dots. Almost immediately, tears welled up in his eyes. But Mrs. Lee, with a gentle smile, pointed out, "Look, Jamie, your tree now has a unique pattern. It's like cherry blossoms in spring but blue. Why don't we call it a magic mistake?" Jamie, sniffing back tears, peered at his painting. It wasn't ruined, it was different, and beautifully so. Throughout the year, Jamie learned that Kids Learn as not just a name but a belief. Each class, from science experiments gone awry to misspelled words and spelling bee contests, was designed to show that errors were not dead ends but paths to discovery. By the end of the school year, Jamie wasn't just a bundle of nerves afraid to get things wrong. He as a confident explorer, learning voraciously through missteps and blunders. With every mistake, the children at Kids Learn didn't just fill out their notebooks. They expanded their horizons, embraced creativity, and most importantly, unlocked the magic of learning. One beautiful mistake at a time.
In the small, sunny town of Maplewood, the local library stood as a beacon of knowledge and joy. Every summer, the library hosted the much-anticipated Kids Learn program, designed to blend fun with education and bring the community together. This summer, Mrs. Elsie, the librarian, decided to theme the program, Journey Through the Jungle. She transformed the reading room into a jungle filled with plush green vines, cardboard trees, and animals hidden in nooks. The child Ren, ranging from 5 to 12, were divided into teams named after various jungle creatures. The first task was a scavenger hunt. Each team was given riddles that guided them through various sections of books, from mysteries and sciences to fairy tales and history. As the children solved each riddle, they were no just hunting for the next clue but also stumbling upon fascinating facts about the world. For example, Team Tiger learned about the water cycle while searching for a clue near a display of rainforest books, whereas Team Snake discovered the story of the first moon landing, tucked away in the space exploration section. In addition to reading, there was a storytelling corner where children listened to tales from different cultures, encouraging respect and understanding of various traditions around the world. As the week progressed, friendships blossomed among the teams. They learned the importance of teamwork, communication, empathy by working together. On the final day, parents were invited to see what their children had learned. Each team performed a skit or shared stories about their adventures. Mrs. Elsie, looking around at the excited, chattering groups, felt a warm glow of satisfaction. The Kids Learn program had not only read a love of reading and learning in the children but also taught them valuable life skills, proving once again that learning can be a thrilling adventure.
Title: The Lemonade Stand On a sunny Sunday morning, Emma, aged 8, and her brother, Theo, aged 10, decided to start a lemonade stand right outside their suburban home. It wasn't just to fill their piggy banks. Emma had recently learned about charity and helping others in school, and she was eager to put her lessons into practice. "Let's donate the money we earn to the local animal shelter," Emma suggested enthusiastically, remembering class visit to the shelter. "That's a cool idea," Theo agreed. As he pulled out a worn-out chalkboard to scribble their prices on, they decided 50 cents a cup was fair. Setting up their stand with a colorful banner and cups, they started squeezing lemons with all their might. Their mom contributed a big bag of sugar and a pitcher, while their dad brought out a table and a pair of chairs. Family teamwork in full swing. As the first customer trickled in, drawn by the kids' giggles and signs, the children's confidence bloomed. They learned to greet customers with a smile, explain where their earnings were going, and even handle a few not-so-friendly comments about their kid-made lemonade. Around noon, a surprise visitor stopped by their school teacher, Mrs. Foster, along with her pet dog. They chatted about the shelter and the importance of community help. "You kids are making a big difference just by doing something small," she said, stirring pride in Emma and Theo. By sunset, Emma and Theo counted their earnings. They had raised $67. More importantly, they had learned the power of initiating change, the essence of customer service, and the joy of teamwork. The next day at school, Emma couldn't wait to share their success story, filled with newfound knowledge and the sweet taste of lemonade on her tongue. Title: The Garden Lesson. In the quaint town of Greenwood, nestled between whispering woods and sunlit plains, the Greenwood Elementary School stood as a beacon of learning and wonder. Among its many lively spaces, the school's garden was the liveliest, teeming not just with plants but with bustling, eager kids during the Kids Learn program. Why Friday afternoon, Ms. Lilly, a teacher with eyes as bright as her name suggested and a love for nature as deep as the roots of the oldest oak, led the program. She believed at the best lessons were those learned through hands-on experience. This Friday was special. It was Earth Day, and the lesson was about the importance of bees in the ecosystem. The garden was abuzz, quite literally, with the soft drone of bees hard at work. "Why do we have flowers around the vegetables?" asked little Emma,
her hands deep in the soil. Planting marigolds, they help each other grow, piped up Sam, who had been paying close attention to Ms. Lily's lessons. That's right, Sam, they're called companion plants. And do you know who helps them the most? Ms. Lily smiled, encouraging further curiosity. The bees, chorused the children, excited. Yes, bees pollinate the plants, helping our garden bloom. Without them, we'd have fewer apples, cherries, and many other fruits and vegetables, explained Ms. Lily, handing out magnifying glasses. Let's observe them. Safely, the children tiptoed around, watching bees flutter from flower to flower, their tiny bodies dusted with pollen. Their amazement was palpable. Each tiny discovery met wide-eyed wonder. As the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in strokes of orange and pink, the day's lesson settled in the young minds. Not just in their understanding of bees and plants, but in respecting and valuing the smallest creatures and their role in our world. Through dirt-stained hands and innocent eyes, the future stewards of nature learned a vital lesson. Every little bit of life matters, a lesson imparted not just through words, but through the living, breathing classroom of Ms. Lily's garden. Little Maya was overjoyed. It was her 6th birthday and the sun was shining bright. Her backyard was festively decorated with streamers and a rainbow of balloons bobbing in the gentle breeze. Invitations had been sent out, and soon, her friends would swarm into her little world of merriment. The centerpiece of the celebration was a grand balloon pit her father had FTED. Hundreds of balloons, red, blue, yellow, green, and every color one could imagine were gathered in a shimmering pool. The moment her friends arrived, they didn't hesitate. Like a flock of colorful birds, they dove into the sea of balloons. Laughter and squeals of delight filled the air as the balloons popped and the children bounced them off each other's heads. Among the fun and games, Maya found a large, shiny golden balloon with a silvery string. It seemed special. Holding it tightly, she decided this balloon would be her treasure for the dog. Why? As the afternoon sun turned golden, the kids lined up for the main event, the balloon relay. Each child had to keep a balloon in the air for as long as they could while running a show. RT distance, measured not just by speed but by how long they could keep their balloons from touching the ground. The challenge was exhilarating. Maya, holding her golden balloon, was determined. As the race commenced, she ran with all her might, tapping the balloon gently. Cheers erupted as she crossed the finish line, her golden balloon still afloat. Her beam was as dazzling as the balloon itself. Later, as the sun dipped below the horizon, each child was given a balloon to release into the twilight sky. They watched in awe as the colorful rifted into the fading light, their faces illuminated by the glow of success and the joy of companionship, marking the end of a perfect birthday fueled by imagination and balloons. In the heart of bustling Maplewood Park, the summer air was filled with the vibrant chatter of excited children. Among them was little Ellie, a sprightly 7-year-old with a head full of golden curls, who was particularly fascinated by the balloon vendor. With each step closer, her eyes widened in awe at the balloons dancing merrily in the breeze. Can I have one, please? Ellie tugged gently at her mother's sleeve, her gaze fixed on a bright red balloon that bobbed above the rest as if it was eager to play with Of course, darling, her mother smiled, handing a few coins to the vendor. Ellie grasped the string tightly, her heart soaring as high as her new red companion. Ed towards her friends, who were gathered around the playground. Look what I got. Together, they devised a simple game of balloon tag. Whoever held the balloon had to dodge the others, trying not to get tagged, and if tagged, they had to pass the balloon to the tagger. Giggles and shouts filled the air, creating a symphony of joy. The red balloon, held aloft, dipped and swayed, partaking in the children's mirth. As the game ensued, Ellie, now the holder of the balloon, ran with swift little steps, dodging her frying DS with gleeful agility. But in her excitement, she didn't notice the small rock by her foot. Tripping over, she let go of the string, and the red balloon began its ascent to the sky. Oh no, the children gasped, watching their playmate float away. It's okay, Ellie exclaimed suddenly, her disappointment turning to a bright smile. It's going to play tag with the clouds now. The children watched, mesmerized as the little red dot danced higher, touching the fluffy edges of a cloud. And in that innocent moment, our imaginations took flight with the balloon, each child dreaming of grand adventures high above. Sometimes, even lost balloons could create the happiest of endings.
Once in the small town of Windle, there was a sunny park filled with laughter every weekend, as children gathered to play. Among them was 8-year-old Mia, who was particularly fond of balloons. Behind her house, she had a little shed where numerous strings dangled from the ceiling, each tied to a colorful balloon, reds, blues, yellows, and greens that brightened the dim space. On one bright Saturday, Mia decided it was time for her balloons to see the park. With a wide grin, she herded her friends into her backyard, revealing her collection. Let's take these to the park and give them a grand day out, she suggested excitedly. The group, RMS laden with bobbing balloons, made their way to the park. Upon arrival, Mia made a surprising announcement. Let's play tag, but with a twist. Whoever is it has to hold a balloon. The air filled with gleeful shrieks and giggles as the game ensued. The it wielded their balloon like a wand, dashing about to tag someone else. Every now and then, a balloon would slip away into the sky, causing all the children to stop and watch its ascent with wide, wondrous eyes, before diving back into their playful fray. Time seemed to race by, and as the sun began to set, Mia gathered her friends. Looking at the few balloons that had survived the afternoon's excitement, she proposed one last game. Let's see whose balloon can reach the clouds first, Mia said. Together, they lined up, each kid clutching the balloon's string. On Mia's count, they released them. The balloons soared higher, joining the earlier escapees in the sky, dancing away to distant adventures. As they watched, Mia felt the magic of sharing simple moments with friends, a joy as light and uplifting as the balloons themselves floating towards the heavens.
Once upon a time, in the small, cheerful town of Windale, a group of children gathered in the Central Park, their faces bright with anticipation for the weekly Saturday fun event. This week, it was a balloon play day, and the theme was Color the Sky. Each child received a helium balloon, provided lovingly by Mr. Higgins, the jolly old shopkeeper who adored the laughter of children more than anything else in the world. The children, ranging from little toddlers to sprightly 10-year-olds, each chose balloons in their favorite colors. Reds, blues, yellows, and greens flopped around in the gentle morning breeze, pulling at their strings as if eager to play with their young owners. Listen up, kids, called out Mr. Higgins, clapping his hands to gather their attention. Today, we're not just going to hold on to these beautiful balloons. We are going to paint with them. A wave of puzzled murmurs swept through the crowd, but the confusion soon turned into excitement when Mr. Higgins brought out trays of paint and large sheets of paper. The task was simple. Dip your balloon in paint and then bounce it on the paper, creating balloon prints. The park bubbled with joy as each balloon kissed the paper, leaving behind unique, colorful circles. Some children experimented by making patterns, while others laughed gleefully at the random arrays of colors. Even parents joined in, unable to resist the infectious, playful spirit of their children. As the day dwindled, the paper sheets around the park looked like giant canvases of abstract art, each telling the lively story of a child's creativity and enjoyment. The balloons, though, now splattered with layers of paint, still floated proudly above the heads of their young artists. Afterwards, as the children went home, their exhausted but happy faces were a rewarding sight. Indeed, it had been a simple play with balloons, yet it painted a memorable day of joy and shared laughter, coloring not just the sky but also their hearts.
In the heart of bustling Maplewood Park, laughter filled the air as vibrant balloons danced against the backdrop of a clear, blue sky. It was the day of THE Annual Balloon Fiesta, a day eagerly awaited by all children in town. Among the many excited faces was 7-year-old Mia, with her bouncy curls and eyes sparkling with mischief. Today, she had a mission: to gather the most unique collection of balloons. As the children darted around, Mia found herself drawn to a gigantic, rainbow-colored balloon tethered to an old oak tree. Next to the rainbow balloon stood an elderly man named Mr. Wilkins, known for his spectacular balloon creations. Noticing Mia's interest, he smiled and asked, "Would you like to try something fun with this balloon, dear?" Mia nodded eagerly. With a wink, Mr. Wilkins handed her a string attached to the large balloon and whispered some instructions into her ear. Mia's task was to run across the field, letting the balloon swoop down low and then sail high up into the air as she changed pace. Delighted by the challenge, Mia gripped the string tied. Off she went. She ran as fast as her little legs could carry her, giggling as the balloon mimicked a colorful kite. It swooshed down near her, who cheered and attempted to touch it, then soared high when she sprinted with all her might. Her laughter was infectious, and soon more children joined in with their balloons. They organized races, seeing whose balloon could touch the ground and then shoot up the highest with their varying speeds and styles. As the sun began to set, painting the sky in shades of orange and pink, the park was alive with the spirit of joy and the dance of colorful balloons. It was a simple play of kids with balloons, yet it was magical enough to create memories that would last a lifetime in the hearts of those children. Title: The Great Balloon Race in the quiet town of Willowdale. A unique event marked the beginning of spring each year, the Willowdale Balloon Festival. This year, amidst the colorful tents and cheerful crowds, an array of bright balloons covered the sky, painting it in hues of vibrant blues, radiant reds, and sunny yellows. 8-year-old Mia and her younger bro, Jamie, were buzzing with excitement. It wasn't just any balloon festival. It was the year they would finally participate in the Kids Balloon Chase, a game designed for children. Each participant received a biodegradable balloon, and whoever's balloon flew the farthest, measured by tags returned to the festival committee, would win a special prize. Think our balloons could reach the other side of the forest? Jamie asked, his eyes wide with wonder. Maybe even farther, Mia responded confidently, tying her balloon securely to her wrist. They listened intently as the rules were explained, their hearts pounding in anticipation. Finally, the whistle blew, and a sea of vibrant orbs soared into the sky, tugged by the gentle spring breeze. Mia and Jamie released their balloons and watched them float upwards, joining the colorful dance above. The festival grounded itself in Community Park, where laughter and joy mingled. Children and parents alike enjoyed mock races, games, and delicious treats. However, Mia and Jamie kept one eye on the sky, tracking their balloons until they were mere dots. Later, a letter arrived for Jamie and Mia. Jamie's balloon had traveled the farthest, found by a family several towns over. Ecstasy and pride swelled in their chests as they read the note. Aloud. Jamie had won a beautiful model airship and a certificate. From that year forward, the Balloon Festival wasn't just a display of colors and joy, but it also symbolized possibility, and adventure that could transcend beyond the gentle hills of Willowdale. For Mia and Jamie, it was an annual reminder that sometimes, letting go is the way to catch your dreams.
Asterisk kids play with balloons asterisk. It was a brilliant Sunday morning, and the park was alive with the laughter of children and the chatter of adults. Today was the annual Family Fun Day, and the highlight for most kids was the giant balloon stand filled with balloons of every imaginable color and shape. Little Mia, Han, DS sticky with ice cream, tugged at her mother's hand, her eyes wide with wonder. "Mommy, can I have a balloon? Please," she pleaded, pointing at the swirling array of colors floating gently in the breeze. "Of course, sweetheart," her mom smiled, leading Mia towards the balloon vendor. "What color would you like?" asked the friendly man behind the stand. "Purple," Mia exclaimed without hesitation, the color of princesses and magic. The vendor handed her a shiny purple bee, a loom, and her face lit up as she thanked him gleefully. Nearby, a group of boys were engaged in what seemed to be a serious competition. Each had a balloon tied to their ankle, and the aim was to pop each other's balloon without losing their own. Laughter and playful yells filled the air as they dodged and darted around each other. Meanwhile, little Mia, with her purple balloon securely tied to her wrist, joined other children at the crafts table. They were making balloon animals, and she watched in awe as a volunteer twisted a long balloon into the shape of a little dog. Mia's attempts were clumsy at first, but with gentle guidance, she soon held up a balloon twisted into a rough shape of a cat, her favorite animal. As the day wore on, the sky began to fill with balloons. End test was underway. Kids released their balloons into the sky, making wishes as they let them go. Mia kissed her balloon before letting it slip into the blue, whispering her wish for a new kitten. The park, bathed in the late afternoon sun, was a spectacle of joy, balloons, and the innocent dreams of children.
In the heart of a bustling park filled with the laughter and chatter of a sunny Saturday, young Mia and her brother Jamie found a new amusement that wasn't on the playground. They stumbled upon a curious old man who crafted animals from balloons. His face bore the soft crinkles of many smiles, and he gifted each child a balloon with a promise that these were no ordinary inflatables. Mia received a bright red balloon twisted into the shape of a butterfly, while Jamie clasped a blue one shaped like a whale. With the balloons in hand, they were ready for adventure. "Let's pretend these balloons can fly us to the sky," Jamie exclaimed, his imagination already soaring. Mia nodded eagerly, clutching her butterfly balloon tightly as she closed her eyes, imagining it fluttering upwards. Laughing and shouting, they ran across the grass, their balloons trailing behind them like colorful comets against the clear blue sky. Each gust of wind that caught the loops and tails of balloons added fuel to their imaginative fire. "Look, Mia, we're flying over mountains now." Jamie pointed towards the heaps of clouds rolling like distant peaks. "And there, do you see? A forest where fairies live," Mia added, her eyes sparkling with the magical landscape her mind painted. They ducked and dodged, pretending to weave through the dense, enchanted woods. For hours, Mia and Jamie lived 1,000 stories, their balloons not just toys but bridges to mystical lands. As the sun began to set, the balloons, slightly deflated, still floated, carrying their tails. Her called them back, and reluctantly they ended their journey, their faces glowing with joy, their hearts filled with adventures. They thanked the balloon man, who winked and whispered, "Come back anytime for more adventures." As they left the park, the balloons bobbed behind them, not just bits of rubber filled with air, but cherished memories of a day spent in wild, wondrous play.
At the heart of Elmwood Park, children's laughter mingled with the vibrant colors of countless balloons, painting the sky with joy. It was the annual Autumn Balloon Festival, an event especially magical for the little ones. Among the excited children was 7-year-old Mia and her younger brother, Jamie, each clasping a string W. A bright red balloon dancing at the end. Mia, adventurous and lively, had a plan. "Let's see whose balloon can touch the sky first," she challenged, her eyes sparkling with excitement. The contest was simple yet thrilling. They would release their balloons and see who's climbed the highest before shrinking out of sight. Standing side by side, they counted down, 3, 2, 1, let go. The two red spheres soared upwards, cheered on by the giggling duo. Mia's balloon took an early lead, catching a swift breeze, but Jamie's balloon was quick to follow. "Go, go, go," Jamie shouted, jumping up and down with energy that seemed to fuel his balloons as scent. The children ran across the grass, heads tilted backwards, eyes following their aerial racers. As the balloons ascended higher, Mia clasped Jamie's hand, TTING about the competition and focusing instead on the shared wonder of the moment. The red dots shrank, but the excitement grew. The possibility that their balloons could actually touch the clouds felt real. Ultimately, both balloons vanished into the blue expanse, and neither Mia nor Jamie could declare a winner. It didn't matter though. The real prize was the gleam in their eyes, a mix of joy and awe. Joining their friends, they continued to play under the lingering confetti sky, the day fading into a beautiful, laughter-filled evening. The balloons might have drifted away, but the memories tethered firmly in their young hearts would stay forever.
One warm sunny day, a gentle breeze whispered through the bustling park, caressing the leaves and coaxing laughter from children at play. Among them was 7-year-old Maya, whose eyes sparkled with delight at the sight of colorful balloons bobbing in the air at the park's entrance. "Ella, look," Maya exclaimed, tugging at her older sister's hand as they approached a balloon vendor. The man smiled behind his cart, a rainbow of balloons swaying cheerfully above him. "How about a blue one?" Ella suggested, knowing it was Maya's favorite color. Maya nodded eagerly, her eyes locked onto a shiny blue balloon that seemed to dance just for her. With a nod from Ella, the vendor handed the balloon to Maya, who grasped it tightly, her smile as wide as the sky above. "Let's play a game," Ella proposed. "Ed, let's see who can keep their balloon in the air the longest without letting it touch the ground." With a burst of excitement, the sisters each tapped our balloons lightly, sending them aloft. Maya giggled as she skillfully kept her balloon airborne, her little legs dancing around the green grass as she played. However, distracted by a butterfly fluttering by, Maya watched in horror as her balloon descended towards a prickly bush. With a heroic leap, Maya string just in time, saving her balloon from a pokey fate. Breathing a sigh of relief, she looked up to find Ella clapping and laughing at her swift save. As the sun began to dip below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of orange and purple, the sisters sat on a park bench, their balloons tied securely beside them. "Today was fun," Maya said, resting her head on Ella's shoulder. "The best kind of fun," Ella agreed, "the kind with balloons and my little sister."
In the heart of a bustling city park, under the golden glow of a setting sun, a group of children played with a myriad of colorful balloons. Each balloon danced in the air, reflecting a rainbow of colors that rivaled the flowers blooming around them. Little Emma, a spirited 5-year-old with pigtails, held tightly to a bright red balloon. Its shine caught the eyes of her friends, who each boasted balloons of their own. Jacob, his blue balloon bobbing above his head, challenged Emma to a contest that was eagerly accepted. The game was simple. Keep your balloon afloat without using hands. giggles and cheery. Shouts filled the air as the kids kicked, blew, and batted their balloons, trying desperately to keep them airborne. The park was alive with the laughter of their innocent play, while parents watched fondly, immortalizing the moments with their cameras. Suddenly, a mischievous breeze swooped in, weaving through the game. Emma's red balloon slipped away, soaring towards the clouds. Her face fell for a brief moment, eyes lifting skyward, tracking its ascent. Seeing her dismay, Jacob ran up, his own balloon forgotten, and pulled from his pocket a spare, a shiny green one. "For you," he said, handing it to Emma. Her face brightened instantly, a wide smile replacing her frown as she thanked Jacob. The balloons, however, weren't done with their show. The balloon caught on a low-hanging branch, escaping the clutches of the breeze. Jacob helped retrieve it, and soon Emma had 2 balloons, her joy doubled. As the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of orange and pink, the children continued their play, their laughter echoing with each laugh and giggle. The balloons weren't just objects of play but symbols of friendship, togetherness, and the simple, unconditional joys of childhood.